Welcome back to Cooking with Robin. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Robin Goldberg. I am a nutritionist with Robin Goldberg Nutrition and Wellness. I do one-on-one nutritional counseling, group presentations. I also wrote a cookbook called Hidden Veggies. It is filled with sweet and savory recipes, all with hidden vegetables. Really easy, simple ingredients, simple steps, simple recipes, fun to make with your kids or for your kids. For more information about me or my cookbook, you can go to my website, robingoldbergnutrition.com. Today is apparently National Donut Day. So in honor of National Donut Day, I thought that we would make a really easy and healthy donut recipe. This one's a pretty simple recipe. I'm not adding in a ton of crazy flavors. I'm going to top it with some cinnamon sugar, but really you can sort of take this recipe and make it your own. We can also I'll tell you about some other glaze options. You can add some chocolate chips to it. You can add some cocoa powder. But this is a pretty good, simple, just as plain donut. Really delicious, really easy, and baked, and it is healthy. I'm using whole wheat flour, so even better. So let's get started. Start by preheating your oven. I have mine already set to 375. So now we're going to take one large bowl, and this is where we're going to put all of our dry ingredients. So we're going to start measuring out. It is 1 1/3 cup of flour. Again, I'm using whole wheat flour. You can use regular flour, or you can use a gluten-free alternative as well. Bob's Red Mill is a good gluten-free baking flour, or plain flour that's also good. So, but I'm using whole wheat flour. So 1 1/3 cups of whole wheat flour. We have 1/3 cup of sugar. Don't worry, nothing wrong with a little sugar. Then we are going to do baking soda. So we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Oops, that doesn't fit in there. So I'm going to use the half. All right, so half and one other half. There we go, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm going to add cinnamon. I'm gonna add, I like cinnamon, I like the flavor. These are gonna be, from me, kind of a cinnamon donut. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you don't want cinnamon, you can also use nutmeg. Nutmeg would be a great flavor in here as well. But we're gonna use cinnamon. So I'm going to use 1/2 teaspoon. Again, I like cinnamon. If you don't want to be super cinnamony, you can do 1/4 teaspoon, just to give it a little bit of flavor without overwhelming it. And then we are going to add salt. So we have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add that in here. And now I'm just gonna give that a nice little, just a little mix, just to get everything incorporated together. And then I will put this over to the side, and we're gonna do our wet ingredients. So that was our dry ingredients, which we will use again in a second, but now we're gonna do our wet ingredients. In here, we are going to mash 1 banana. Again, you want the banana to be a little ripe. The riper it is, the sweeter it is. Also a lot easier to mash if you have a ripe banana. So we are going to mash up 1 banana, and in that, we are going to add, let's get this banana nice and mashed. Really easy, just take a fork. Super simple. Again, the riper the banana, the easier it is to mash. All right, so we have our banana nice and mashed, and now I'm gonna add the rest of the wet ingredients. So now we have 1/2 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk. You can use whatever milk you drink with your family. You don't need to buy anything special, but I use almond milk. So we're going to do 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Add that in there. And then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of applesauce. Just throw that in there. 1 and 2. And then apple cider vinegar. This is really actually the secret ingredient in donuts. It actually really helps with the flavor and making it fluffier. So we are going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. All right, and then we are just going to mix this all up really well together. All right, our wet ingredients are all nice and mixed together, mashed up. So now we are going to add our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients and whisk those in. We don't want to, make sure you don't over whisk it. If you over blend it, over mix it, it kind of make them dense and fall and not be super fluffy. So we just want to mix it so everything is incorporated, but we don't want to over mix everything. So we're just going to mix this up, give it a couple of stirs so everything is nice and combined. It looks good, like a nice dough. Look at that, looks delicious. I think we're just about ready. All right, so the trick to using your donut pan. So this is a donut pan, obviously it looks like a donut. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can make these as muffins. Works the same, tastes the same, but it is National Donut Day, so gotta make donuts on National Donut Day. All right, so our batter's all mixed together. So this is the trick. We're gonna take a plastic bag and we're going to pour our batter into the plastic bag. All right, I've got my dough into my Ziploc bag and I'm just going to cut the end of the bag off. This is really just a simple way to get your donuts into the pan. So now we have the end cut off and I can just squeeze it out in a circle into the pan. You don't have to do this. You can scoop the batter out if you prefer. This is just a really easy method and a much cleaner method. I don't know about you, but I tend to spill everywhere and I'm trying to scoop batter. So this just squeezes right out into the donut pan, just like that. Okay, so now we have our tins filled with all of our batter, ready to go in the oven. Simple as that. So I'm gonna put it in for about 10 to 12 minutes. Put it in for 10, check it, see if they're starting to get golden. If not, give it another minute or two. And then we will let it cool and work on our toppings. All right, our donuts are out of the oven. Look at how delicious they look. I let them cool for about 5 to 7 minutes. I mean, obviously you can tell I'm holding the pan, so they've definitely cooled down. So now, and you want them to cool down before you start removing them from the pan or they'll break up. So I'm just taking a little knife and going around the edge a little bit just to make sure nothing is stuck. And then we're going to pull our donut out. Look at that delicious donut. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some cinnamon sugar. So what I did was just put cinnamon and sugar together in a bowl. That's it, just mix it together. And I'm just gonna kind of roll the donut as it's like a little bit warm still, which is perfect, into the cinnamon sugar. And that's it, that's our donuts. Another option you can do for a glaze is if you take some powdered sugar and some milk and then just mix that together, maybe add a little maple syrup to it if you want it to be a little maple flavor to it, and that'll make more of a glaze. Again, I decided to just go with cinnamon sugar. I'm actually out of powdered sugar, so that's my option. You don't have to do anything at all if you don't want. You can also put some peanut butter on top. Because these are very healthy, clean ingredients, you know, we just have flour, there's a banana, some milk. There is some sugar, but not an insane amount. So these also would make a great breakfast, so add some peanut butter to them as a glaze, would also be delicious. And then I also, because I had some extra batter, I made a couple of muffins. So I just wanted you to see that they can also be made into muffins. I baked these for about 17 minutes, because they're a little thicker, they need a little bit longer, but equally as delicious, they taste great. So if you don't have donut tins, totally fine, make them into muffins. And again, these can be super versatile. This is basically a very simple batter, and then you can add, you know, a chocolate glaze to it, a regular, just a powdered sugar glaze to it, nothing at all, anything you like. Enjoy and make it your own. Again, my name is Robin Goldberg with Robin Goldberg Nutrition and Wellness. I hope you enjoyed Donut Day today. Apparently it's National Donut Day, so enjoy these donuts. Go out and go home and bake some yourself, and thanks for watching. Everybody enjoy.